Hello there, adventurers, and welcome back to another episode of Neon's Game Night. Tonight, we're heading back into the indie open world exploration RPG called Dread Delusion that came out earlier this year. I did a video on it a couple months back, a little bit after it came out and hit 1.0. It had been in early access for a little while, but it actually had its official 1.0 release earlier this year, and I've been playing it here and there over the past couple months, ever since I did my video, and it's quickly grown on me as one of the best games that I've been playing this year. And I wanted to be able to hop back in a little bit for a little bit, talk about it a little bit more now that I know a bit more about the systems and some of the experience that you can have in Dread Delusion, and just share a bit more of my love for the game. So I'm here, obviously, at the bar here in one of the towns. That is a little save crystal that makes an annoying sound when you're next to it. But we're here in the bar. When in Rome, they say, we might as well grab a beer, right? Hello there. Welcome to the Wobbly Noggin. If you're in need of a rest, we've got beds and ale aplenty. Okay. I'd like to buy a drink. Sure thing. We recently got a big shipment of fine wine from Riova, so I can give you a good deal on a bottle. Though if you're looking for cipher wine, we've been short ever since the Clockwork Kingdom shut its borders. Alright, well, I think some just regular old beer will do. Except... Alright, let's go ahead and get that drink, shall we? Where is it? Beer. Yes. Bottoms up. I'm feeling mildly tipsy. Okay, so yes, as you can see, the game is in first person. We played a decent amount of not too much, but we played about an hour or so of Dread Delusion back in our first Neon's Game Night that featured it, and I'm not using the same character. I went back when I restarted, and I made some different choices in the background department. When you create your character, you get to choose a series of backgrounds and like little situations that kind of determines your history, that kind of creates your starting class and your stats. So I went with the Apprentice, Adventurer, and Temple Raider combination for background for my main playthrough. I can't remember exactly what all the choices I made back in the first Neon's Game Night video, but it definitely wasn't these. I went with a bit of different things. Here are my current skills. The way you gain skills in this game is you actually have to... Why is our... That's probably because we're drunk or tipsy. The way that you gain skills is by increasing your attributes here. And you increase your attributes by piecing together what are called delusions. So as you explore the world, as you do quests and various things, you can find little shards of glimmers of delusion is what they're called. And once you get enough of them, they grant you a full delusion. Once you get a full delusion, you can spend that delusion into one of your attributes here. Now, I've been kind of spreading them around slightly evenly, which probably isn't the best way to do things. There's quite a bit of things that I've run into that I haven't been able to actually participate in because my wisdom's too low or my might's too low. So if I were to have specialized a bit, I probably would have been able to access a few more areas, seen some more secrets, stuff like that. But this is kind of what I've been doing, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So that's kind of my character. right now we're in the sort of the biggest zone that I've come across so far. This is, I think it's called Hallowshire, and it encompasses all of this part right here. For reference, we, in the original Neon's game night, we were only up here. This is the only area that we explored in that video. And so ever since then, there's another town here, Pawil Village, that we've gone through and done quests for, and we've kind of made all of our way here. I don't really know exactly how far into the game I am in terms of completion percentage, but I've done a decent bit. You don't even get the map right out of the gate. You have to meet a character that works for a cartography guild in order to like start being able to map out the area, and you actually can hand some landmarks back to them and get paid. And this isn't even the full map, because this will go off in this direction in order to uncover more of the map. So I think it's a really nice way to do the map, because also you're able to get paid for it, and it kind of helps keep that sense of scale. Every time you go into a new area, you're able to see your map just continue to expand. The map doesn't function quite as well as I would want it. Like, I can't zoom out any, as far as I can tell, which isn't the most fun thing. What does this do? Hollowed out tree? Oh, it turns off the indicators. It doesn't function particularly well. You can't like mark on it to my based off of anything I've found. You can't like take notes or anything. So the functionality of the map is fairly limited, but it gives you what you need to know. That is us, and we are in Hallowed Town. So that's kind of the context of where we're at. I can kind of come up here into town just to show you a little bit, and then we'll kind of get going on some questing and different stuff like that, I suppose, or just some exploration, because the real key to this game really is the exploration element. This game does exploration expertly. Like, the exploration in this game is so top-notch. Like, it's so rewarding to just go off the beaten path and keep looking around various corners and exploring what's there. Like, just within this town alone, there's quite a few little secret passages and hidden passageways. Like, if we look down here, that area down there is actually, you can go there as part of a sort of secret area that you can stumble upon using your skills. And there's things to find, treasures to find, upgrades to find, quests to find. There's a whole faction that's kind of hidden away here that I found just by like stumbling through things, and it's just a really good exploration experience. The exploration experience itself reminds me most of games like Bethesda games, obviously sort of being a first-person action RPG. That's kind of would be what tends to get brought up as an example of something to compare it to. And on the exploration front, I would absolutely agree with that perspective. But this is the Hallowed Town is like, and this has, you know, some various shops and everything. The NPCs that just stay here. They're not like super dynamic. So if they're shopkeepers, they just sit here in order to sell you things. Except for at night, they kind of have they move and they're upstairs in their quarters to go to sleep. Some of the places, like this is an apothecary, and some of them will have like little crafting tables, so you can come in and do some crafting. Let's see what we make using Jitter Seed and Death's Veil. We made an Elixir of Regen, and we got a Steam achievement for that. Hey, awesome. So I'll just make another one of those. Why not? So there's alchemy, there's blacksmithing, there's tailoring that you can do in order to help augment your equipment. And there's even more crafting aspects in relation to being able to purchase a house, because once I first got here, you can interact with these in order to pick up quests. Calling all denizens of the Apostatic Union. Our land is beset with a most terrible famine. Can you sit idle while your crops fail and your loved ones perish? We all know who is to blame. The God Worshipper, the cultist. For too long they have uttered their dread prayers from the fringes of society, bringing terrible omens upon our lands. Our polymath humbly requests the aid of every denizen in this matter. Visit the Apostatic Union's council building in the center of town to inquire further. And then this one that has a notice about selling this thing called Thornwood Manor, which I actually did end up doing. And you can upgrade that as well through its own little crafting system and even furnish it. So I think that's actually one of the things that we're going to start out doing. Is I'm going to go show you the house, and we're going to go see what I need left in order to finish it up. But yes, that's the Apostatic Union place. And I've actually done a few quests for them, so if we look at our faction things here, the Apostatic Union actually loves me because I've done a decent amount of stuff for them. So, the premise of the game is that we're actually trying to track down, what is it? A person called Vela Kalos, and that has been done through just a whole bunch of like little leads. That's the overarching plot of the game so far, is we're trying to hunt down Vela Kalos, and we've done that by just kind of chasing leads in all of these different regions that we've been in, and tracking down people, contexts that she's had in the past, and trying to see if we can't find some way to find out where she's going and get to her, essentially. So, yeah, these are the quests that I currently have active, and I think one of them is the Thornwood Manor quest. So, let's go ahead and head over there to my house. I don't sleep in my house, for reasons I'll explain once we get over there, but I do have a house, and I am trying to upgrade it for the purposes of the quest, and I'll be able to explain more of that as we go along. On top of being very Bethesda-esque in terms of like its exploration and just the kind of the feeling of scale to its world, it also reminds me very much of Elden Ring, actually, in the way that it handles exploration, particularly in the sort of the way that it exposes the map, that the map is something that you kind of have to seek out sort of upgrades for by going and doing certain things and finding new things in new areas, and just the way that it kind of, as a fog of war, doesn't expose how big it is until you just get further and further along, which has really, really helped keep that sense of scale, like I mentioned before. And also just the different ways that you can create different shortcuts. Like a lot of these lifts and stuff will be inoperable when you first find them. And so you have to actually try to find where to activate them in order to get them to be able to be functional. But then once you do that, you kind of create a really nice shortcut for yourself for backtracking purposes and everything like that. So, alright, well that's a pretty steep drop off. Let's see if we can't move around here and head to this house. We've also been to that castle there. There's a very bad sickness in that castle. The whole castle has been under some kind of plague, and one of the people there made a deal with a god, which the gods in this game world are awful. They are really, really not good entities, and their assistance and their help usually comes with massive strings attached, and the massive strings attached for helping these people out is like plague and stuff like that. So it's a really interesting game world as well. There's a lot of that. It's very dark and doesn't involve a lot of clear-cut heroes and villains, which really kind of makes me think a bit more of like Fallout New Vegas. Ooh, there's something up here. Let's go see. Where you're kind of left to justify working with different factions based off of sort of your own personal philosophies and stuff, or the philosophy of your character. So a lot of these things, this is one of the alchemy ingredients that you can come and pick, and they'll grow back over time. But where was I? Ah, yes. New Vegas and the factions. The factions, from what I've seen so far, they don't have like a massive amount of like quest lines to them that I've seen so far. There's kind of like a few in every place that you go. So there's like rough connections to each of the factions in any given area that can kind of help your reputation towards anyone. I haven't really tried to do any sort of like backstabbing or double crossing, so I'm not entirely sure how easy it is to dig yourself out of a hole with a particular faction. Like, as you can see, I'm hated by the Outlaws and the Wiccans, although in the past I have been on decent terms with the Outlaws, and have even done some quests for them, but now I'm hated. So I don't know if that's something that I can work my way out of, or if that's kind of gets set in stone for a particular playthrough. So there's some interesting things there. As you see, we've gone all the way over here without getting into combat. It's not a very combat-heavy game, which is something that kind of surprised me a little bit. Maybe we'll instigate some combat here in a second, after I talk a little bit here. It's a bit surprising to me because the art style of the game and like some of its inspirations is very clearly inspired by some things like Morrowind or Kingsfield, and like say has that kind of some From Software influence there in terms of the exploration and all that, but it doesn't really have any of that inspiration, or not really inspiration, influence in its combat system, because combat is extremely straightforward and pretty easy. So I'm going to give an example here. It's really simple. You have a sword, you can swing like that, you can block, you can use the right mouse button to cast spells. I don't really have that many spells. You can do that. Just recently I also picked up this bow, so you can do some range stuff. Like, these enemies don't have that far of a range to start attacking you, so it's very easy to avoid combat altogether. You can play the entire game just kind of sneaking around and moving around the sight lines of different enemies, and play the whole game that way if you wanted to. Otherwise, like, I haven't really done much with the bow, and as you can see, that one shot almost took him out. And then I'll take out my sword. They kind of get locked into place when they attack, so it's really a simple affair to just kind of get a nice quick stab in once they're trying to attack you, and you just kind of kite them. And even when they hit you, see, that guy hit me, and I barely lost any health whatsoever. So combat is not something to get stressed out about in this game if that is a worry to you at all, which I actually think is a benefit because of just how good the exploration is. It kind of allows you to just focus on that element and really participate in that element of the game that I really enjoy. So if you also enjoy exploration elements and just kind of getting lost in a world and interacting with the characters and the environments and finding hidden secrets and stuff, then Dread Delusion would be right up your alley. Alright. So I think if we come here, this isn't my house. This is this guy's house. He was here as part of the property. He's like a groundskeeper. And he just sits here staring at these statues all day. But if I come here, this tells me what I need to... Okay, main house is built. Library's built. Everything's built and unfurnished. What I need... Oh, I probably would have had one of these had I not done that alchemy, because I think I used 2 of those in order to make those potions. Ah, jeez. So I need 1 more of those in order to make the garden, and that's actually what I need. Bummer. All right, I guess we'll have to go back to town and see if we can't find one of those, or see if we can't find one around the property. I think that was a jitter seed. I'm not sure. But so this manor, once I bought it, was very rundown, very decrepit, and just wasn't a very good house at all. It wasn't a house, period. And since I've been able to afford some upgrades, it actually does function as a decent house now. It's got the crafting station here that I suppose I could have come up for. It's got a save point. It's got the save point is also what can, if you look down at the bottom right, I'm switching my spells, and the one that has a little home there will take you to the last place that you saved. So if I did that here, that would be here, but right now if I did that, that teleport would be back in the village. So I can turn on the fireplace. My house is actually much more of a house now. It's got little wings and everything. What is this, a crafting area? Yeah, I got my blacksmithing area that I can use to upgrade my weapons and armor. You can't really like decorate. I mean, you can furnish it with like furnishings that you buy, themes that you buy from various vendors, and which I still have yet to do, which I'm sure would make the place look a lot better, because right now it's very basic and it doesn't really have any decorations at all. But it's not like in a Bethesda game where you can drop stuff, drag it around, and place furniture, stuff like that. Let's see what else is here. Here's a library, which I'm not entirely sure if this is how it functions, but I'm assuming, just based off of what I'm seeing, is that the library functions by tracking what books you've read and then storing them here in this book. And so I need to do a bit more testing, but the way that it seems to be is that when you find a book in the environment and you read it, it shows up here on the list, so you can kind of check out the books. And the lore and everything in the game is it's so well written. Like, this reminds me of Morrowind level lore book writing with like Vivek's sermons and stuff like that. They're really good stuff, really captivating, and like I said, kind of dark in nature, but they're very detailed, and the writing is immaculate, and kind of lends more to that feeling of like this is a world that things are living and things are happening in. And also just in general, I think the UI elements are really cool and have a really good design. The menus are fairly easy to navigate, and I just like the look to them. I'm always a sucker for when games have in-game books and they're represented with like some kind of book UI like this. I'm just a sucker for that. I've always been a sucker for that. I can't tell you why. That's just something that I've always appreciated. But let's see what's over here. It's actually been a second since I've been here. I think this leads upstairs to more stuff. There's a chest that I looted. So, I mentioned that I don't sleep here because if I did, I'll wake up with like half my health gone. And that is because I am sharing this house with this freakish thing. This looks like it could still be missing something. This freakish thing is living in my basement. And based off of a book, or actually, do I have that in the library? Let's go see. Let's see if I have it in the library. Pagath, Foolhardy Voyage, Whirlwind. No, I do not. This, based off of all the evidence I can find and what is suggested here, I found a place up there that it talks about some creature. Let's see if it's in the journal. Let's see here. Thornwood Manor. Found a peculiar and haunting statue. It seems to be missing several items. And so what I'm missing is whatever piece gets unlocked from finishing the garden. So that's why I need to upgrade it, so I can complete that weird statue and finish whatever quest is there, because that's been the case for every other piece that I've found, is that I had to complete an upgrade in order to get access to it. So, see, this is the refurbishment will be included in the garden upgrade available. So, once I can get the garden upgrade, I should be able to get the final piece that I would need in order to complete that and actually, like, I don't know, maybe talk to the statue or whatever it is. But we actually have an idea of what it is. Oh, there's a big enemy there. I'll just take a couple hits here, because, like, I'm staring right at this guy. I'm going to let him get a good few hits in. And I'm not even really that spec'd out into combat. I've got 3 points of might, which is kind of the combat skill, and I'm fine. I haven't really upgraded my armor, and that's all fine. And also, you get you get swimming in health potions. So health potions are like never an issue. So if you're looking for combat, and you're looking for a real hardcore combat, skill-intensive experience, you might be a little disappointed by what Dread Delusion has to offer in that department. But I believe it's here. Is this the book? On Pagath? Yeah, no, that's not it. Yeah, it's down here. That's freaking creepy. But that's an alchemical item. Here it is. A curious find. You find papers and rolls of parchment outlining the study of various monsters. Most seem to feature the Vierme, a parasitic organism that uses its host to feed on the dreams of its prey. So that's kind of what it kind of looks like. So that's very highly suggesting that when I sleep here, I actually get my dreams and like life essence fed on, and that's what happens when I wake up and if I sleep here. So I don't want to sleep here. And as we can see, it's kind of actually getting closer to the end of the day. But I did see something over here I want to grab. Also around the world, you can find these little things. These are squirming godlets. They're mini fetuses of gods, creatures. And yes, that is as weird as it sounds. And what's even weirder is several factions desire these, and you can sell those to them. So that's kind of crazy. But let's go ahead and teleport back to Hallowtown and see if we can't maybe purchase a jitter seed as well as go to sleep. Hello there. Welcome to the Wobbly Noggin. Yep. I'd like to rent a room. The Skull Suite's vacant. It's yours for 2 coins. I'll take it. Thank you. It's just up the stairs there. Just look for the wall of bone. You can't miss it. Alright, sir. Up the stairs. And, wall of bone, I'm assuming. Yep. Alright, so yeah, you can rent rooms at the inns. It's very Elder Scrolls-esque in that sense. And you can... There is a day-night cycle. You can sleep to any of these particular times. This is morning, midday, evening, and night. I can't sleep... I can't, like, choose a separate time within these things. So it's just kind of like at the beginning of when that part of the daily cycle is. So let's just go to the morning. You don't have to eat or drink anything in this game. That could be an interesting mode to have in the future, I feel like, but they might be done with updates for the game. So let's go ahead and see if the alchemist has any jitter seed. Is what I believe we need. Because I only need one, and I used the one that we had. That might be a jitter seed. I think that might be a jitter seed. Right there. So let's grab that. Yep, that was a jitter seed. And does that mean we have 8? It does mean we have 8. Alright, well, simple as that. Let's head back to the house. I'll kind of fast track things a little bit, because we also want to maybe go and try to do something else. But, because I believe it takes a little bit of time for the upgrades to actually, like, take effect. And actually build the house, so... Let's kind of make our way, do a little sprinting. Avoid enemies on their way there, or not. You can probably take them on. Do some archery. Hey, come back here, fight me. There we go. Drop some loot. Pilfer 2 coins. So yeah, it's definitely not like a lot of RPGs where you're just overflowing in money. You can get that way, but you'll typically be wanting to spend your gold fairly frequently to get upgrades and do different stuff like that. Like even forging upgrades for your weapons and armor costs money, as well as the resources that it takes to upgrade it. And that's the other thing too, in regards to my comment about combat. I've got a steel sword, which is only upgraded twice. I think I've only upgraded it twice. And as you can see, combat is not a big deal. There's an outlaw there. Take him down in one shot. Gain the throwing knife. Put the weapon away. Now let's make it back over here. Don't want to stand underneath it, because I have accidentally done that, and you die. I hit the button and was waiting for an elevator to come, it didn't have that clear of an indication that there was this big gap where the elevator would come down to. So I kind of blamed that a little bit. But since I was just waiting for it to arrive, I just kind of sat there and kind of took a look at my phone, and all of a sudden I woke up at a resurrection point. So, alright, let's go ahead and upgrade the garden. It's going to take 100 gold. See, this is what I mean. The upgrades cost a lot of money, and you get gold in, like, 2 to intervals of like 2 to 8 at a time. You don't get much money at any given time. So, and it is constructing. And so it'll take some time before it will finish being built. And so I think you can unfurnished. Like the necessary materials. Perhaps clicking on them again is furnishing them? This costs to redecorate the property, select a style to confirm. Right, so when you have a style, you can do that there. Right. Alright, so we can't unlock the secrets of our spooky house just yet until that finishes completing. I don't know if that takes a day or what, but let's see if there's another quest that we can kind of start going with. There's quite a few that we have. These 3 are part of the main quest. They're kind of like, this is the main quest, but these are all the things that kind of support it. There are some Emberian ruins that we can go to. Jack Basalt has told you of the Duchess. The Endless Realm. I don't really want to go to the Endless Realm yet. The last thing that we've been doing was we were tracking down this Emberian. I want to do one thing at a time. I don't really want to spread myself too thin, because it's already a bit hard sometimes to come back to the game after I haven't played it for a little bit, just because I have a ton of other games that I'm playing, a ton of other projects that I'm doing for the channel and such, that sometimes I get a little lost when I come back. So I'll stick to the Emberian ruins in the town of Rustburg. So let's go ahead and head back down. And we're actually going to be heading that way for this next part. And in the interest of time, since I do have limited time when recording these, I'm going to sprint. Usually I don't. Even when I'm kind of backtracking, I like to just kind of chill, take in the environment. I do some, whether it's in the morning and I'm drinking coffee, or in the evenings and I might be drinking some kind of alcohol, I usually just tend to use my gaming time as a bit to unwind. So backtracking never really bothers me, because I like the journey and the experience. And sometimes I'll end up finding stuff that I did not remember seeing the previous times, and I always think that's fun. So backtracking is not an issue. And there's just been tons of cool stuff that I found in this game so far. And like I said, it's up there as one of the best games I've played that's come out this year. I knew that when I played it for Neon's game night the first time that, like, I was really vibing with it and I felt that it was something special. But ever since continuing on playing with it afterwards, I was like, yeah, I really love this game and it deserves a lot more attention. What the heck was that sound? And also, this confirms something. I've definitely been here and gotten this Squirming Godlet before. So the Squirming Godlet respawns. I didn't realize that they respawned. I definitely figured that they would be a bit of a finite resource. These guys, I believe, are friendly. They're part of the Apostatic Union. Famous last words. Yeah, they haven't attacked me. And I can get back up here this way because I activated this elevator last time I was up there. Perfect. There's options to make this, to make the game look more retro in the graphics settings. So like there's wobbly 3D, wobbly textures, and retro resolution. I don't play with that just because, like, you know, I'm older than I was when I started gaming, and that's just how games were presented. And my eyes just like the clarity. They like the image quality of just being able to see things better. So I don't really do that. I don't actually think I needed to come up here. That's fine. We'll take this guy out. Yeah. Die. Give me gold. Okay. So we actually need to go down there. It's kind of scary, but just do a bit of Skyriming and Skyrim our way down the cliff there. We get a soundtrack change. The soundtrack is, it's very moody. It kind of plays the same thing over and over and over, which, you know, take it or leave it, but let's just go ahead and activate this save place here. But I do think the soundtrack adds a lot to the atmosphere and really captures the feeling of the world. So the last time I was here, somebody over here, there's an NPC over here that suggested that there was an alternate way into these ruins. But I couldn't get him to tell me what it was. Let's see if I can attempt that again. Oh, now look here, this is my tree and this is my loot, so get lost, you hear? Do you know a way into the town? You need to get into that big stone tower there. There's two ways around, you see. You can only go a long way with all the goblins and moths, or you can go the special way. Can you tell me the special way in? Fail. I need a charm of 30. Well, if I went telling every damn fool about it, it wouldn't be special no more, now would it? So you could sawed off. Okay. See, I need a charm of 30. I only have a charm of 25. I don't know if I have any kind of potion that could augment that. Boosts your lore for a time. Is there anything that boosts my charm for a time? Spells illusions and reveals the truth of things. So that would be wisdom. No, it does not look like I have something that would help me charm, which is kind of a bummer. So either I could wait until I find another delusion to level up and then try to go back, or I can just maybe try to find the secret way myself. There's usually multiple ways of finding different routes and stuff, which I really, really enjoy. Let's see here. So right now, it definitely looks like we're kind of going straight on. Die, goblin. There's not seeing any, like, secret doors or anything so far. They're really good at hiding secrets in these levels. They're really good at hiding, like, little secret paths paths that. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We've got a lot of things attacking us. Ow. Alright, that's that down. That's fine. There's been several times where I've gone through an area and have just completely missed a path because it's right on the edge of something like this, and like, just for example, like that would go off on a secret path, and if you're just not looking for it, you can bypass it pretty easily, which again is the kind of gameplay I really love. So, because yeah, aside from like the general aesthetics of the environment, herb wine, eh? And kind of having a bit of a darker mood and tone, this isn't really that much like a Morrowind or an Elder Scrolls game. But one thing that I do think that the developers sort of adapted really well was getting that sense of verisimilitude, in that the game doesn't have this massive scale. The cities don't actually feel as big as like real cities. They're still, very small. But every single NPC like has a purpose and a function within them. So it really makes you feel very grounded in the world, and really lends to that sense of immersion that makes it feel like a real place. And they really do capture that element of the open world design very expertly. Let's see here. I don't know if I want to go straight inside. I see this. This lift is not yet active. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to activate it except for that there, up there. What do we got here? Okay. So I'm not having any luck finding the secret way, as the guy suggested. So it looks like we've got no real option except the front door. We also need to be mindful on time. We've been playing for a decent bit already. No thanks to my rambling and talks about a whole bunch of stuff. What we got? That is a trap. Right. Failed to pick lock. Can I just skirt around the outside here? Oh, nope. I tripped the trap. Right, so this is how lock picking works. It works on dice rolls. So you just kind of roll for the dice. If it says you need 5, that means it's a higher quality lock, and you just use your lock picks until you potentially run out. The higher your lockpick skill, the lower that threshold is, and it might not always be the best to do that. We get an elixir of luck. A concoction that makes the user slightly better at everything by boosting their attributes for a limited time. Huh. I wonder if we can use that to gain information about the secret passage. Let's go try. If it boosts all of our attributes, that should also boost our skills. So let's go see if that is the case. Before we do that, though, I'm going to run back over here and save, just so we can see if that is in fact what happens. An elixir of luck. Okay. We do be moving. Alright, let's try this out. Where'd it go? Elixir of Luck. Yep, use it. And then... Yep, our charm is 30. Hello there. Now look here, in my tree. Yeah. You know way into the town? Can you tell me the special way in? Well, I guess you seem like an alright sort. When there are Wiccans living here, they hid the nearby bridge with magic. It's right there, but you can use a truth potion to see it. Let you sneak past all those goblins real good. Okay, thanks. Truth potion. So, does that mean it's right here, and it probably actually is going to end up not being much of a shortcut at all, because we've... Yep, that's all it is. Okay, so that's a bit disappointing, but that basically would have just allowed us to get past those enemies at the front. It doesn't really allow for much more than that. So let's see if we can avoid dying here. See if we can't move in here some. Alright, what's this say? Notice to all, in this year 1406, the town of Rustburg is hereby abandoned. By decree of the apostatics, no coin shall pass between hands here. Let this be a warning to all who harbor Wiccans and their vile gods. Pilfer 3 coins. We got here. There's just a lot of areas and avenues, and I probably do not have enough lockpicks to try out all of this stuff, but maybe we can gather some more like that, and we'll give this a try. Hey, we got it. And then we're just going to try to jump over it. Ooh, that's a really good lock. You can also tell by the color of the lock. So this is going to be a good one. And that is a Glimmer of Delusion. So I do want to give this a shot. Oh boy. Oh no. We're not going to make this one, are we? Nope. Nope. We've got no more lockpicks. Well, that's a bummer. I'll have to come back for that at some point. Let's see. Yeah, see, doing that, we just avoided those enemies down there. Let's go up before we go down. Enter into the spooky attic. Ow. Oh, that guy's got a shield. So this is the bow and arrow guy, so we'll take him out. And then... Come on. Now, I blocked him at a good time, so that kind of stunned him. But now he's going back to blocking actively, so... Oh boy, you've got quite a bit of health, don't you? There you go. Oh. I got him right before he got to finish his potion drinking. So. Oh! That was a lot of enemies. The door is barred from the other side. Interesting. Because I'm not sure if we're supposed to go up or down. Going up seems to always be a decent idea. These people aren't... Oh, okay, they are hostile to me. Oh boy. Drink that potion. Get that one. Come over here and get this mage. Alright. Got a shielding potion. And some more lockpicks. Got some ammunition. I'm still not seeing anything that would indicate stuff that we need. part of the quest, so it's almost looking like we were supposed to go down and not up. Although... Okay. So that's the lift. Oh, hello. Do me a favor and die. That would be very nice. Thank you very much. There's a glimmer of delusion. And we still haven't collected enough to gain a full delusion. But if we go down up here... Can we... Is this what we need? What is this? Does this take me over that way? I think it does. Hey. I think it does take me that way. This seems like a little, like, flying thing. Okay. Let's go ahead and... Then let's just do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Whatever it is, we use the Emberian key to make our way over here. I'll have to do some more exploring in that place at some point. What do we have here? So if we come across anything that's part of the main... We're doing stuff that's part of the main quest, so... Fair warning for spoilers, obviously. This looks like an interesting landmark. Right, so when you get that notice, you can switch... I need to switch out here and use this item to update my map. Which we can see we have the Emberian Vault here. Those are all enemies. I like to avoid them if I can by running around them. We could probably get some nice loot, maybe some more lockpicks. But if we can avoid them, why not do that? Paul Denton would be proud. If anybody knows what the heck I'm talking about and referencing, you're already my friend. Okay, what do we got here? Lots of gears and interesting things. Hello? Are you, mean or no? Wait, is this the Emberian? The Emberian breathes heavily, leaning on her sword. I could tell you were a persistent one, though I have to admit, I didn't think you'd make it in here. Still, you're lucky I got here first. These synthetics would have torn you limb from limb, she grins. I came to help you. I don't need your help. And I know you're only after mine, so the answer's still no. Now stay out of my way. Behind that door are the answers I seek. I've just got to catch my breath. Okay. Behind that door? Oh yeah, that's just all the same stuff. Oh, I didn't... Oh, that was very close. I almost accidentally hit her. Okay. Behind that door. I can try to lockpick that. I can go straight forward. I'm assuming I'd have to have a might in order to do that. The door is barred from the other side. Alright, we were able to lockpick that door. I don't think this is the door that she was talking about, but what is this? Quest updated. Something has changed. Sorry about that. My phone just went off. I had to silence it. Okay. She looks like she must have went in. She's not there anymore. Okay, what do we have behind door number 1? Oh, this is weird. It's really weird. The Emberian kneels, head bowed, sagging beneath the weight of her armor. Her body convulses. After a moment, you realize she's quietly sobbing. Hearing you approach, she falls silent. Are you okay? You catch a faint smile. Not really. You know, she found me in one of these places. In one of these coffins. It was Vela. She was 8 years old. When she pulled me out of that machine, coughing up ancient fluids, I couldn't have been much older. Nothing to explain who I was, how I got there. Just an inscription on the vat which read, Orlaith. So that's what they called me. And so I was born into this world. I was lucky. Bella's father took me in and schooled me like his daughter. But I never found anyone who could explain my strange birth. I never found anyone like me. I thought this place might be different from the others. I thought it might explain something. But it's just another dead end. So, you don't remember anything from before? I have dreams of long-lost places, but no recollection of a family. Maybe I had one once? Or maybe I was made, not born. I'll never know for sure. I understand that now. But though none of these rusted tombs have given me my answers, each one has fueled my anger. The Emberians threaded their needle through the world, altering its tapestry to their whims. And for what? The more I learn, the more I see their greed, their self-interest, their lust for power. And in the end, it destroyed them. It destroyed our world. Scholars can debate over scant evidence for an age, but who doesn't feel the truth in their guts? 400 years ago, the Emberians caused the world rend with their feckless ambition. That is their legacy, and I feel the weight of their sins. The Emberians are long gone. Their guilt is not yours to bear. You're right, for should not be my guilt alone. It should be the burden of us all. For we can see, plainly as by starlight, the injustice that was wrought upon the world. When such putrid histories repeat, do we not have a duty to act? All of this I said to Vela, time and time again. So Vela betrayed your beliefs. At first I thought Vela would simply listen to me. We had often plundered harmless Emberian relics while leaving that which seemed unstable or dangerous. Why should this be any different? But the map we found and the artifact it promised, they rekindled something in her. A passion and ambition that could not be quelled. She was determined to change the world even if it meant dooming it. She unfurls her hands, staring at them. So what options did I have left other than my sword? I spilled the blood of my friends, my family. And still, I failed. You've not failed, not yet. Together we'll finish what you started. She sighs. For a moment, she is still. But then she looks at you, fire in her eyes. You're right. For too long I've clung to the past. Felt like I owed Vela something. This is bigger than the two of us. Bigger than anything else. If I have to kill my sister to save the world, so be it. Just promise me one thing. If, against the odds, we manage to fight our way to Vela, leave her to me, okay? It is settled then. She nods. I'll help you. I'm the only other person in the Sky Realms who saw the map Vela's following, so I know where to find her. But we'll need others. I heard you captured Vela's old fortress, the Blinding Light. I'll make my way there. Oh, and thank you. Okay. Well, that was that quest completed, and we gained a little achievement there. And we are out of time tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to have to end the video here. Thank you all very much for watching. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing, and let me know how I'm doing down in the comments section down below. This has been Dread Delusion once again here on Neon's Game Night. If the game looks at all interesting to you, give it a wish list on Steam. Check it out. I'll have all that information down in the description below. But other than that, guys, I will catch you all in the next video. Cheers.